Let's see how to solve this equation. So this equation involves radical signs. So this is a square root of this radicand, square root of this radicand. Original way, or in general, we would just square both sides, get rid of the square root. That would be one way. But let's observe, we want to use substitution method. So let's call this radicand A. Let's call this radicand B. Okay. So this one we call A, this one we call B. So A plus B, that's X. Then A squared will be X minus 1 over X. Okay. If we do this, minus B squared is 1 minus 1 over X. So what is that? That would be X minus 1 over X minus 1 minus 1 over X. So we simplify this, we would get X minus 1 over X minus 1 plus 1 over X. We have minus 1 over X plus 1 over X. That adds up to be 0. So we're left with X minus 1. Well, A squared minus B squared can be factored as A plus B times A minus B. Well, that equals to X minus 1. And we have A plus B equals to X. So we want to use this. Then we write X times A minus B equals to X minus 1. So divided by X on both sides, because X won't be 0. Right? If X is 0, we won't be able to divide it by X. But you see X is in the denominator already. That means X is not 0. So that's why we can divide by X on both sides. Then the left-hand side, we're left with A minus B, because X divided by X that equals 1. And the right-hand side, we have X divided by X, which is 1, minus 1 divided by X, which is 1 minus 1 over X. Well, so one equation we have A minus B equals 1 minus 1 over X. And remember this one. We have A plus B equals to X. So now we can work with these two equations. Maybe we can add those two equations. If we add those two equations, what do we get? A plus A, let me write here, we've got 2A. Minus B plus B, that's 0. So equals to 1 plus X minus 1 over X, right? Because 1 minus 1 over X plus X. Well, let's look at this one. X minus 1 over X, that's A, right? X minus 1 over X, that's A. So that means 2A equals 1 plus A. Well, subtract A on both sides, so A equals to 1. Well, that means X minus 1 over X equals to 1. Because A is X minus 1 over X, that equals to 1. Now we multiply X on both sides. So X times X, we get X squared. Minus 1 over X times X, that's 1. Equals to 1 times X, that's X. Quadratic equation. So now we just solve this quadratic equation. So let's put every term on the left-hand side. So X moved to the other side becomes minus X. Then minus 1 equals to 0. Use the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula, the number before X squared we call A. The number before X we call B. The constant term we call C. Then quadratic formula is negative B plus minus square root of B squared minus 4AC divided by 2A, right? Quadratic formula, that's for AX squared plus BX plus C equals to 0. So it's a substitute, right? B is negative 1, negative 1 is positive 1, plus minus B squared negative 1 squared, which is 1, minus 4AC. 4 times A is 1, times C is negative 1. Then divided by 2 times 1. Simplify this, so we get a half plus minus Square root of 1 minus 4 times 1 is minus 4 times -1. That's plus 4. 1 plus 4, 5. Square root of 5 divided by 2. So we get two solutions. We get x equals to half plus square root of 5 divided by 2, or equals to half minus square root of 5 divided by 2. Well, this obviously is a positive number, but this one will be negative number, right? Because square root of 5 is less than square root of 4, which is 2, or more, less than 3, but bigger than 2, right? 2 over 2 is 1. So half minus 1, that's less than 0, not less than 1. So which is means negative number. So this solution will be negative number. But well, this negative number works for our case, right? So then in this case, this will be negative number. So let's try it. So get 1 minus the square root of 5 divided by 2. We know the positive solution works. So we just have to check this. Then 1 over x, we just flip the numerator and denominator. That's 2 divided by, this is 1. 1 minus the square root of 5. So we know this one is a negative number. Right? It's a negative number. And this one is also a negative number. Right? So this is 1 plus a negative number. So negative number plus negative number is a negative number. So which means this is less than 0. So this means this radicand less than 0, which means this radicand is a negative number. So in real number system, anything squared has to be at least 0. So we're going to ignore the negative solution. So we only have one solution. So the solution is this: half plus square root of 5 divided by 2, or 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2. That's a solution for this equation.